Guys, I'm just coming to show you how I go about making my shea butter products that I use in all of my videos, as well as my peppermint mist that I use in my video as well. So the first items that you'll need before you get started is, of course, your shea butter. You're going to need a spatula, a spoon, preferably metal, your measuring spoon, a bowl. And these are the items that I put inside of the shea butter once it's melted. Olive oil, coconut oil, vegetable glycerin, almond oil, and 100% cocoa butter. And sometimes I use vanilla bean as well. And I use the vanilla bean only to give my cocoa butter a good vanilla scent. So let's get started, guys. So now the next step that you want to do is melt your shea butter. You want to take all of your shea butter out of this container using the metal spoon. Once all of the shea butter is in the pot, you want to turn your eye on very low. You don't want it to be hot because you don't want to boil the shea butter. You just want to melt it. So this is how low you want your fire to be. You don't want it to be extremely high like this. No, you want it to be low. And then you take your pot and you just place it onto the fire, and it will eventually dissolve. The next thing you want to do is to get all of your oils that you're going to put inside the pot and have them all actually melt together. So the first thing I'm going to get is my cocoa butter. Then I'll get my almond oil. I want like about 2 to 3 tablespoons of almond oil. Now go ahead and pour that in the pot, the rest of the oils. Next ingredient will be the vegetable glycerin, and the same with that, you want about 2 to 3 tablespoons of that as well. Same steps, and pour your vegetable glycerin. 3. Ingredient will be the olive oil. You put about, for me, I like to put about 4 or 5 because I want my shea butter mix to be very, very oily. That's just for me. Now you can put 1, 2, depending on how oily you want your shea butter mix to be. Put that right in there with the rest of the mix. Alright, as you can see now, the cocoa butter stick is melting, as well as the shea butter. Last but not least, you're going to put your coconut oil in there, and I used about 2 spoonfuls. Okay, go ahead and dump that in there. You can actually melt it in there like this if it doesn't come out. There it is. And I actually used 2 spoonfuls. Now, as you can see, the cocoa butter has dissolved completely. Now the only thing we have left is the shea butter and the coconut oil. Guys, everything has completely dissolved. Now you want to remove your pot from the fire and just allow it to sit and cool for a little while before we do the next step. Guys, now you want to get your contents that's in the pot and take it on over to your blender. I forgot to mention that in the things that you'll need, but you do need a mixing blender. And you want to pour the contents inside the blender, and you want to do it before the liquids that's in the pot starts to get solid again. Okay, so go ahead and pour. Okay, now that that's inside, allow it to drip. Now that that's inside, you will take your vanilla bean, that's if you want a vanilla bean, and you will put it inside the liquid. Once everything is inside, you cover up the blender. Yeah, I know this is a little bootleg, but my kids, they broke the original top. But I'm going to turn off the video just for the sake of not having everything spill all over the place. So I'm going to turn off the Alright guys, so I'll allow that to blend for about 3 minutes. And this is how the liquid will look. It's still soupy. And as far as the vanilla beans, they won't be completely crushed. For me, I like some of my vanilla beans to still be whole inside. That's just me. Now, if you want it to be completely crushed, then you will have to let it blend for probably about 10 minutes. So, the next thing you're going to do after that is pour the liquid inside of the original shea butter container. Like that. Now, you will have some leftovers. Usually, I'll just toss those. But if you want to keep it, you can. And then you put the lid back on. And you allow, shoot, too much. Oh well, I'll pour some more out. And then you just put the lid back on, and then you allow this to sit in the refrigerator for about an hour. So I will let that take place, and I will come back. Let me clean up this mess. Guys, I just wanted to show you how the shea butter looks inside of the container. And you would just take this whole entire container. Make sure you get some paper towels because you do not want the oil that's on the bottom of the container to get in your refrigerator. So make sure you get paper towels and lay this on top of the paper towels, and again let it sit inside the refrigerator for about an hour or until you see that it has it's hard again. So I put it in the refrigerator. Again, make sure you have paper towels and let that sit for an hour. Alright, so let's check on the shea butter. Okay, from the looks of it, it is still liquid. Okay, yeah, it's still liquid. So what I'm going to do is remove it from the refrigerator and put it in the freezer. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want it to get hard. Yeah, so I can go ahead and blend it. Now, if you can look around the edges here, the edges already got hard. And this is how I want the entire container to be. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that and put the entire thing with the paper towel in the freezer. Guys, so I placed the container in the freezer, and I'm going to let that sit. And I'll check on it from time to time to check on the shea butter. Good. And as you can see, it is completely hard. Now what we're going to do is remove it from the freezer, and it only took about 30 minutes for it to get hard like this. So we're going to remove it from the freezer, and we're going to take it on over to our hand blender and bowl. Guys, so now what you want to do is take the shea butter that's in the container and actually put it inside the bowl. After you remove your shea butter from the freezer, be sure to let it sit out for a good 20 minutes because you don't want to try to blend hard shea butter because it can even potentially break your blender. I know because it happened to me. So again, do not blend immediately after you remove your shea butter from the freezer because it can potentially break your blender. Okay, once the content's been put inside the bowl, you will get your blender and you will start to blend. Guys, so go ahead and turn on your blender. You want to do this up until it's creamy. How your shea butter should look after you're done blending it. It should be like a mousse type of feeling, like that. This is the texture of it, and this is exactly how you want it to be. So the next thing you want to do is scrape your shea butter with the spatula and put it in the container that it came in originally. Guys, so this is the finished product, and this is how you want your shea butter to look after it's all said and done. Now for the peppermint mist. Alright guys, now it's time for the peppermint mist. What you'll need is a spray bottle, what is this, almond oil, peppermint oil, and vegetable glycerin. Now you have the option of putting whatever oils you like inside of your peppermint mist, but for me, for now, this is all that I will put. Sometimes I usually will put jojoba oil and vitamin E oil, but I do not have that today. Alright, so because my mist was already pre-made, I'm just going to tell you what it is that I do. So what I'll do is, you probably can see it, but I will fill my bottle up with water. Don't fill it all the way up to the top because you need to still put the oils inside. So I will fill my bottle up with water, and then I will go ahead and pour each individual oils in. Now for the peppermint oil here, it comes in a drop like this. It's not like the rest of them. See? Which means that it will come out really slow. So I usually put about 10 drops inside of my container. About 10 to 15 because I like for it to be really, really pepperminty, if that's a word. So basically that's it. Like always, I hope this video was helpful to some, if not most. And always remember, guys, you are naturally beautiful. Take care.